Hello, and welcome to the EduTalk series hosted by Biotone Edu Partner Program, and massage industry experts. With the challenges that continue to face massage schools, students, and practicing therapists, thanks to COVID and its too many variants, the EduTalk series continues to support virtual learning and building massage community by connecting you with industry experts who share their knowledge and expertise on topics not only for class discussion, but career success. Tonight's experts are Heath and Nicole Reed, co-founders of Living Metta, an approved NCB TMB continuing education company that unearths the practical tools of healing through the lens of yoga, therapy, medical Qigong, hands-on body work, and other somatic sciences. They are columnists of Savvy Self-Care for Massage and Bodywork Magazine and authors of Table Thai Yoga Massage, as well as publishers of numerous educational videos and blogs, and familiar faces at industry trade shows and events. And those are back in gear.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Let's listen and learn as Heath and Nicole not only discuss, but demonstrate tools to embody a self-care lifestyle. They're passionate about sharing friendly ways to feel refreshed, both in your practice and in your life. They'll share how to discover your core values and how to embody these values with conscious breath, movement, and touch therapies. Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you for having your sound muted and your video off. Heath and Nicole will be demonstrating tonight, so feel free to jump up and move right along with them. And with that, hi, Heath and Nicole. I'm turning it over to you.
Thank you,
Excellent.
Donna. I appreciate that. And welcome, everybody. I'm glad you're here, either in real time or welcome from the future, the pre-recorded. So yes, my name's Heath.
I'm Nicole, and we feel that massage therapy is so much more than just what we do, but it's also a lifestyle. It's who we are, who we be.
Yeah, and as body workers, I think it's probably implicit that you care about caring, that one of your core values is to relieve suffering, to help alleviate pain, to assist people in feeling better in their bodies, better in their lives. And our curiosity is, do you share those same values, those same practices, not only with your clients, but do you embody those yourself?
Yeah, and what that means, practically speaking, is are you making the choices every single day to support your values? I know that one value of ours, big value of that we are living into every day is loving kindness, friendliness, care, opportunities to connect. So discovering your core values is one way to start making kind of like that turn towards choosing it and choosing a lifestyle that supports who you be.
Exactly. And the values that you take at the massage table, are they integrated with the values you're living to at the dinner table? And if you're like us, and maybe you can ask yourself, have you ever given until it hurts? Have you ever said yes when really you felt like, no? So out of necessity, Nicole and I have been exploring not only touch therapies, but movement, breath work, meditation, all kinds of ways to not only support our clients, but we realized, because in the first couple of years of our practice, we were experiencing the same aches, pains, discomfort as what we were treating with our clients.
And we were very frustrated about that because no one talked about that when we were going through massage school.
No, and they also didn't tell us that the average lifespan of a massage therapist is about 3 to 5 years. And the number one reason therapists get out of the field is because they hurt. or they just build up so much that they can no longer sustain. They give until it hurts. And as folks who love touch therapy, love to connect through the flesh, we did not want to postpone or stop this career. So for the last 20 or so years, we've been practicing and studying yoga therapy, medical Qigong, all kinds of conscious breath work and meditative techniques, not just to help our clients sustain the benefits between sessions, which that's a real thing, really helps when your client is actively participating in their well-being in between sessions. But for us, how could we really embody these same principles, these same values that got us into the field so that we could not just survive, not just sustain in our practice, but how could we continue to thrive, to evolve, and to continue to discover and learn new ways of healing for ourselves and others?
Love that. So self-care became a value, a core value for us that has continued to grow in our own, in our personal practice. That has not only been personal, but also has kind of seeped into our professional practice. So decide, kind of finding out and feeling into what are the core values that you're living into? What's most important to you? How do you know that you're living into your core values? So looking at your life, the results, the choices that you've made, where you are sitting right now, how you feel, what you're thinking, what you're up to, what you're doing, what your appointment book looks like, all of these are the results of the choices that you've made that show you, am I living into my core values of loving kindness, of care, of connection, of self-care, and whatever else is on your personal list?
Something we've noticed in writing about self-care for many years and teaching it for a couple decades is that self-care has, I think, is a total complete misconception.
Well, it's been trending, right? Especially since pandemic.
And
it's gotten a lot of press.
It's got a lot of attention, which is a new thing, right? Self-care wasn't really part of our vernacular 10, 20 years. A lot of folks never thought of self-care. I'm thinking of my parents or grandparents' generation.
Well, if you did think of it, right, self-care meant like a luxurious bubble bath.
Yeah, it meant getting a massage, a lot of passive self-care things like taking a nap, which are all incredibly valuable.
Going on a vacation.
Yeah, but a lot of it has been focused on the tender self-care, on oftentimes which shows up as a little more passive. But what we also like to—
Well, and I'd also like to add to that, not only is it shown up as tender, but also like giant blocks of time.
Oh yeah, like I need to do a whole yoga class in order to practice self-care. I need to be at the gym for a whole hour, or I need to do this big thing. I need to cook that meal that's takes a lot of effort.
Yeah, it's more time consuming. So it was easier to it became easy to push that off to the side.
Yeah, I ain't got time for that. Or I'll do it later, and later never comes. What we've learned with the science is that it only takes 2 minutes of practicing some conscious breathing, movement, touch, focus to begin to shift your physiology, to change your nervous system, to upregulate your vagal tone so that you can experience more ease and flow with greater frequency.
Yeah, so you can have these 2-minute compassion breaks, 2-minute self-care breaks,
2-minute exercise snack.
Yeah, a little happy snack for yourself in the middle of your
go
day.
up to a wall and do some standing push-ups.
Or not.
Or find a way to put your favorite song on and dance to your jam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dance to your jam. Yeah, I want to know what your jam is.
So a lot of self-care we've seen has kind of been compartmentalized or limited. And what we've seen both for ourselves and for others is that actually 2 minutes of self-care a day is often more effective than 1 hour of self-care every other day or intermittently.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of weaving in a daily self-care practice is a way to not only fortify your well-being, but to reinforce your commitment to you that you deserve, that you're valuable, that you love and care enough about your own body, just like you give that care and high regard to others, that you're willing to invest And that 2 minutes a day is what we encourage everybody to open into, explore, get curious.
Yeah, and would you be willing? Yeah, am I willing to take little 2-minute breaks throughout my day to give myself some self-care?
We like to call them happy snacks. What makes you happy? And it could be the tender, nice, soft, gentle stuff.
A little more yin side, a little more yin,
Or what?
compassionate.
Yeah, a little more yin.
Or a little more yang, a
little
little more little fire, a little bit of heat.
More gusto, more ampage, more ferocity. And so think of self-care instead of just like, ooh, ah, like cuddling a little sweet stuffed animal, more like a mama bear, right? So mama bear, of course, she's sweet, she's caring, she looks out for her cubs, makes sure they have their needs.
But you don't mess with mama bear.
But mama bear's also fierce. And we were introduced to this concept of fierce self-compassion.
It's got a bunch of notes in there because it's been such a great resource for us and we wanted to share it with you.
And we love that Dr. Kristen Neff, who was the first person to write scientific literature on studying and examining and actually rating self-compassion, has wrote this follow-up, a compendium to self-compassion about fierce self-compassion, the yang, the activating principle. And what we've seen a lot with people, our clients who are in pain, is often they're passive. They wait for it to change, or they go down the rabbit hole of why me, or when is this going to end?
Or just, I love that what you said, like just waiting for something to magically disappear, just, I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and that knee pain or that low back
I sure
will
hope
be
it's
away.
gone.
Yeah, cross your fingers, I don't have it tomorrow. So we get passive with our pain in hopes that it'll resolve itself, or maybe someone will come along and fix us. But what we're inviting you to do is to start to get active, to start to exercise your fierce self-compassion in different ways so that you continuously, I love what you said, refresh yourself throughout your day so that you have the energy to give and you also have the resource, the wellspring that you're receiving. So let's practice.
Yes.
Sometimes we don't know. Sometimes I'm like, is it a self-care day that's tender? Do I want to do soft things, or do I need to get active with my energy with myself today? So we can kind of try on a little bit of these kind of ideas. First, we can embody a little tender self-compassion, and we can embody a little fierce self-compassion. So we'd love for you to join us and give this a try, sitting right where you are. I'm just gonna put this face down to the side here.
Sure, I'll move my little nose to the side as well.
And we can embody a little tender self-compassion by first maybe warming your hands. We'll just warm them up because we're gonna place them on your face. I'm like, like little tender self-compassion.
This makes me think of I don't know which Renaissance artist, but with the little cherub faces, little angels. But so enjoy a few deep breaths.
And it can be across your forehead, just a tender touch. So this is one, and notice how that makes you feel. If that feels good to you, or feels weird, or that's strange or uncomfortable.
Maybe you're healing in an area, or there's just an area that would like a little TLC. And you can give yourself that kind of contact.
And if it's not the stillness that feels good, maybe it's just a gentle kind of massage, a little brushing, a little sweeping over the shoulders, over your own hands, and a little tender. Just notice, does that feel refreshing? Does that feel sweet? Does that feel good to you? Are you doing it in a way that nourishes you, that's tender, that's friendly, that's kind? And then you just rest your hand over your heart, and you can be still, or maybe you like that gentle movement. Can add that kind of gentle brushing or circling over your heart, and I can feel myself, my own energy system start to
deep breaths go down. So before we get to sleepy time, we can turn tender into fierce touch.
So we can get a little stronger. So we can put your hands on your hips and take up some space. And
sometimes
fierce is Wonder Woman, is Superman or Superwoman, and you're just taking up space, and you got your hands on your waist and your hips, and you're holding up. and you're standing firm.
Or maybe you're a victor and you hold your arms out and you feel as though you're touching and reaching for the heavens. You're going beyond what you know.
Mhm.
Could be open palm or soft fist.
You can bring that palm over your solar plexus. Both hands is a big energy center in our body. And we can hold here and you can press firmly into your body. And notice how that feels for you as you energize and connect to your solar power in your center of your body.
Well, you could take that power from solar plexus to the heart.
So instead of that soft, tender heart, but add that fist
And
right
that
over your
strength.
heart.
Think in your hand, you are holding your core values and you are powerfully, fiercely expanding into and through and from your determination, your resilience, your commitment to healing both others and yourself.
So we can use these little body postures, these embodiment practices as a way to kind of connect with and start to get curious, well, what kind of care do I want to give myself today? Do I feel most nurtured by a little tenderness? Or today, do I feel most nurtured and fortified with a little bit of fierce? Just notice where you are today and how all these movements are creating a cascade of feelings, of sensations from the inside out, outside in.
And don't let this just be a cerebral thought experiment, but actually embody, try this on. We find that experience precedes insight. So if you want to create that insight, that aha moment, we want to treat our bodies and our experience as a living laboratory.
Oh, I love that. Like every day I'm looking to explore and discover something new about my relationship to the world's relationship to me.
Yeah, I can experiment in ways to shift my state of being.
And remember that some things will work and then some things won't.
Some things will be amazingly cathartic and be like a life changer one moment, and the next day, meh.
Should we explore deeper?
Let's do some more touch.
So
let's come on standing up if you don't mind.
Kind of build our reservoir. But sometimes we just need to have more ideas about how can I embody my own self-care through either both tenderness, so we're going to explore more tenderness and a little bit more fierce. I'll move this chair out of the way.
Thank you.
Using both touch, we're going to use movement, use our breath and our focus. So first, we'll start with some touch, gentle, more nurturing, kind, tender touch. And we'll just bring your hands together at your heart. You're going to inhale your hands up over your head and then bring them down the back of your neck and just gently begin to kind of pull the tissue forward. Give yourself a little gentle massage. Noticing when you're breathing in, when you're breathing out, how you're standing, how you're contacting the earth. You can do the sitting if that feels better to you. Then we're going to take it to the front of your body, to your neck, like a kitty cat. And cat paw your own front of the neck, maybe even the sides.
Hi there, Jake.
Side to side. Back to center. And then let your hands just kind of sweep through your sternum and wrap around your ribs so that you can bring your hands to your back body. Encircle and warm your kidneys and lower back. Give yourself that little bit of support that you might need or want today. And continue to sweep down your legs, outside or the inside, doesn't matter, but sweeping down, all the way down to your feet, and say hello to all your toes, squeeze your toes.
Actually pick up your toes, rub your toes, lift, get some blood into those distal edges. It's good to have your knees bent so your belly or ribs are resting on your thighs. Get to the fourth toe, the third, second, first toe. Take some nice deep breaths. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Much better to have bent knees and your belly on your thighs instead of straight legs and round back. That's how you hurt your lower back.
So engage your lower belly as you begin to sweep up your inner legs. Maybe sweep up around your knees a little bit. Give them some loving kindness, sweep up into your thighs, and then around your belly, smile to your belly like you love your belly.
Or at least as you like your belly.
Or, so pausing there, notice how that feels. So that embodiment practice, a little tender self-care through touch. How does that feel for you? Is that something you want to keep and remember? Is that something you want to integrate into your day? Or do you want to get a little more active? Yeah, so we want to build our energy. Maybe you want to strengthen it, build it, and we can do that through touch. We can do a little tapping technique. So we can start with like a little monkey paw or cupping or soft fist. We can tap down the inner arm, all the way down to your palm, put yourself in the claws, and then bring it around the back of the hand. The only time you do one play around, right? And bring it over to the shoulder and tap, tap, tap. Through the center, big breath there. On that mama bear chest, that mama bear chest, and give yourself a good Just try it one more time.
Stimulating our thymus. So important, our immune system.
And bring it down the opposite arm. Tapping, strengthening, following lines of energy circulating throughout your body as you strengthen, stimulate your skin. Back to center. One more big here. And then bringing this around your belly a couple times, about 3 circles, following that way of digestion up the right, across the center, down the left. One more round. Here we go. We're going to go down the outside of the legs, tap, tap, and then up the inside of the legs, tap, tap, tap.
Let's do that 2 more times, but now simultaneously tap
Okay.
9 times down. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. Up 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7. And a bonus time, a little faster. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
And then notice how that feels. Take the pause, revel, enjoy, marinate, savor the pauses. Give yourself a chance to feel your feelings, feel all the sensations. How was that for you? Enlivening, enriching? Is that something you want to incorporate more of? We can add some more so we can go into our movement, a little
Sure,
bit of movement.
yeah.
So we can take a nice wide leg stance and you can rest your hands on your thigh and we're going to do the yin. So we're going to do the tender movement here first. So I'm just going to wave my spine from side to side gently. Like your seaweed getting kind of moved about with every wave washing up onto shore. So you're in that deep sea, in the warm waters, and you're gently moving your spine, undulating your spine from side to side.
And you might be going quicker or slower than Nicole and I recommend you play and alter the pace so you find what is that perfect pace of your essence. If you didn't have to rush or hurry up or catch up, what would the speed by which would feel the most pleasurable for you? Notice how your breathing shifts, your attention shifts, your circulation shifts.
Yeah. Feeling yourself breathing in, maybe one direction, breathing out the opposite direction. And then coming to a pause right in the center. Little tender movement. How that feels to undulate, to move like water.
And taking that liquid yin quality into a little more substantial earth energy, moving mountains.
Let's move some mountains. So
and
we're just
make
gonna...
sure you feel safe and comfortable.
Oh yeah, all
Everything's...
these are invitations, never a command. Love that. Here we go. So we're gonna inhale, reach our leg up.
Lift our arms up and drop it like it's hot.
And we're gonna do the big ha.
Other leg. Ha. So
we
if
just
there's...
need to get some chi out, some energy out. Mad. Oh, go ahead.
If there's anything you want to let go of, ha it out now. One more each side, deep breath, stomp it, let it go, and let it flow.
And take pause. How's that feel for you?
So much of self-care is about being self-aware. Notice, is it the touch that really shifts you in a pleasant way? Is it the movement? Is it more the yin or yang quality? So keep giving your sensitive attention so that you know what is actually good for you in the moment versus wasting your time on something that's useless.
Right. The third one we did was breath, a little bit of breath. Let's practice.
And why don't we bring it down? I think I'd like to sit.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I'm gonna
If
bring you come into the chair again. There we go. You think that's a great idea. But I love what you just said, Heath, that self-care is the practice of being self-aware. So we don't know we need care unless we notice.
Right. And sometimes if we wait too long, you know, we notice like after the train has left,
Right.
we figure it out, you know, kind of when it becomes too late. And a little problem now, if we don't take care of it, becomes a big problem later. And we need the awareness that comes with a self-care practice to be sensitive to the early warning signals of our system, showing that, we're no longer in alignment with our values. We're kind of missing our mission or vision for ourselves.
So let's try a tender breath or and a fierce breath. So if you'd like to join us, we'd love to share the reset breath with you. Do you want me to do it or you want to?
I'm happy to do
All right, you
this.
lead
So
this
we're
one.
gonna inhale through our nose, exhale out of open mouth like you're blowing out a candle. Maybe it's a foot or two in front of you. And let your out breath be a little longer. And at the end of the out breath, hold it out. Try not to breathe in, but also don't clench or tighten. And just before your body sucks in hard, inhale gently through the nose, roll it right into an open mouth, exhale. Don't hold it between the in breath and out breath. After you get every last drop of breath out, hold it out. In yoga, they do different Jalandhara, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha locks. Don't let there be any tension. Breathe it right back in through the nose, out an open mouth. We'll do 2 more cycles like this. This we learned from Dr. Gay Hendricks, writer, one of the first authors to write anything about conscious breathing. This is called the reset breath. Really good for building our immune system and also letting go of what we don't need. In through the nose, last one, out an open mouth. Hold the breath out as long as you can without tensing, and then you bring it right back in, and we can notice the shift there. This is really going to help balance the oxygen, carbon dioxide, and it's great for, as the name suggests, resetting your nervous system.
Very nice.
And then a little more vigor.
You may need some tissues for this one.
So if you got some bats in the cave, hangers in the closet, you might want to clear the decks, but here, a little belly breathing, but we're going to do a little diaphragmatic breath of fire. As the name suggests, this is a little more activating, ferocious, young. And so you could start out your mouth or your nose, but I like having my hand or hands on my belly button. So as I exhale, the diaphragm goes up and back. So just try. Try not to move your chest or head.
Nope.
So you don't want to go like that. Just kind of from the ribs down.
A little breath of fire. So, are we doing it?
That's the idea. And
Okay.
you can either do it through your mouth or through your nose. If you feel lightheaded, stop right away and breathe normal. This one can be a little anxiety producing. So if you're feeling like you don't want to rev things up, go back to that reset breath instead.
Otherwise, if you're wanting to explore and experiment and see if this is a breath for you.
We're going to inhale about half as much as possible and then begin nice and slow at first. Keep that going about another 30 seconds. If you want to go quicker or slower than me or Nicole, feel free. You really want the exhale to be the charge. Don't even think of the in-breath, just let that. And for the last 10 or 15 seconds, go as quick or slow as you'd like. And blow it all the way out, 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 out. Inhale, very deep breath in. Hold the breath in if you can. Lift up your pelvic floor. Draw in your navel point. Draw your chin in toward your throat. And now exhale, let it all the way out. That's a little more charging.
Energizing.
Kalabati,
Get that
breath of
digestion,
fire.
that digestive fire going. It got my sinuses going too.
So the reason we use these 3, touch, move, breathe, is that no matter what, these are things that we can change instantly. We have the power to be able to control, not in an oppressive power over move, but control, meaning the ability to change instantly.
Yeah, it feels like agency. I have agency over these kind of faculties in my body.
However, I find most people spend a lot of the resources trying to change or control things that they have zero ability to change or control.
Like other people.
Like, boy, trying to get other people to like us, or trying to get other people to feel a certain way. Or here's one, trying to get ourselves to feel a
I
certain
shouldn't feel
way.
like that.
Yeah. So trying to control yours or other people's emotions is much like trying to control your weight. I challenge anybody, stand on a scale and with your mind alone, control your weight. Just change it, 10, 20 pounds up or down.
Darn it.
Same thing with feelings. If we had the power to control, to change our feelings instantly, we'd just be blissed out all the time. So what we can change, we can shift instantly is how we're touching, how we're breathing, and how we're moving. And with practice, we can facilitate and evolve a nervous system that can sustain larger amounts of positive energy for longer periods of time. Instead of using our brain to figure ourselves out of stress, we can use our body to calm our heart, to soothe and nourish our brain. And in this idea of connecting our core values with a self-care lifestyle, we can begin to become more aware. Self-care is self-awareness. The more aware you get, likely the more caring you become for yourself and others. But not only does self-care create more personal awareness, self-care is community care. People are watching what you're up to, your clients, your friends, your family,
your children, yeah, and their friends.
and folks, you know, who are showing up as calm and relaxed. That is a touch point that creates a butterfly effect. Folks who are showing up in chronic stress, pain, hostility, that also creates a ripple effect. When you take care of yourself, that old expression, when mommy's happy, everybody's happy. When you take care of yourself, it's easier to take care of others.
Yes.
And the bonus feature is when you take care of yourself, you become a living invitation for others to do the same. If you remember Harry met Sally, that might be dating myself, all have what she's having. You see someone who feels really happy and positive and dealing with life in resilient, resourceful ways. Yeah, I want more of that. I want to be around those people. I want to circulate and invest my time and energy in people and things that uplift me.
Yeah.
So self-care is also community care. Self-care also is generational care. We can actually impact not just the now, but we can leave a legacy in the wake of our life. I remember my grandfather, who was shot down in WW2, was in a Nazi prison camp for the last several months of the war. And when he came back to America with his wife and kids, and later several more kids, he didn't ever do self-care. He didn't go get counseling for, I don't even think PTSD was defined clinically that time. He didn't connect with his inner child, and nowadays I love when I hear about leaders like Simone Biles speaking about the importance of having support for counseling, for therapy, that it's no big deal for individuals or couples to get support for counselors, that it's no big deal to focus and give attention to how we're exercising, how we're breathing, how we're eating, how we're sleeping, how we're being in our relationship with others. So self-care is not only self-aware, builds our self-awareness, not only community care, but also leaves a lasting impression in all those we connect with and can provide a positive impact beyond the present. It's generational care.
Love it. Yes.
So as we're wrapping up our time, we would love to hear if there's any questions or comments. You can put them in the chat. I don't know if you have the ability to unmute yourself. You could also unmute and put your voices under the call, but we'd love to talk about anything that you're wondering about regarding using your breath, your movement, or your touch as ways to change your state, as ways of shifting your state of being.
Well, I would like to mention, this is Donnell, I don't know if you can see me. It's some of it seems that it would be really beneficial when you have clients coming in for a session, that you could, if they're wanting a relaxing massage, you could do the breath work with them. If they're wanting to perk up or get energized, that you could do this with them. I mean, it only takes, as you were saying, 2 minutes or 3 repetitions. So it sounds like this could be incorporated not only to give you a starting point with your massage, but also your client to settle in.
Right. 100%. And that's another layer of that community care. So embodying this and demonstrating coaching clients, right? How many times do you ask your clients to take a deep breath and they're like, oh, like people don't know how to breathe from their belly. They're in chronic anxiety and angst. So giving them just one healing move of how they can shift their nervous system, their psyche with their breath, with their movement, or how they're getting in touch, locating themselves. Or Nicole and I like to use the word presence. How do you presence yourself? And I love that invitation, Donnell, to presence with your client, that you can share this with them and you can both receive the benefits.
Yes. What else? It just went right out of my head. So we've cleared my brain.
Isn't that a nice experience? Thoughts aren't bombarding every last second. And a lot of self-care is just about creating space. Looking for that opening. Create space in between your breaths. Meditation asks us to create space in between our thoughts. When we're challenging our body, how can we actually lower our heart rate while we're challenging our body? And all this stuff is accessible with practice.
And there's so much of what you were doing at the beginning, which felt intuitive. I think we do it without even, being aware, like, whether we're, massaging our neck or just rubbing on our arms. I mean, intuitively, we know we need that on some level. And this is nice to have structure to this and put thought with it to understand I'm feeling this way, or gee, I need a little perk up, so I am rubbing my arms. It's a very nice presentation to just connect things that we are doing intuitively with purpose.
Love that. And I think what we've also found is that our body is communicating with us all the time, and oftentimes is communicating information before our brain understands what's happening. So we need our body to help kind of navigate us through and to our own personal truths.
Well, thank you. I haven't seen any comments or questions come in. So I would like to mention that tomorrow in the follow-up email with the recording link to tonight's session, that there will be a handout that Heath and Nicole have provided, and their contact information will also be on the email, so that if you have any other questions for them that you'd like to just ask one-on-one, you'll have that information to reach out to them.
Great.
Perfect.
And
go ahead.
I'd love to share our website with folks if this is a good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if you go to
well, I like to premise by saying that
please.
We created that. We were looking this was our pandemic baby.
Yes. So on our website, we created a membership community.
LivingMetta.com, 2 T's.
Yes. This was before Facebook decided to call themselves Metta, but this is the Eastern philosophy of Metta. METTA is loving kindness. And if you'd like to join us, we have hundreds of hours of self-care videos and touch therapy, everything from Thai yoga massage to medical massage to global reflexology. And you can get a free 30-day trial and become part of our community. And that includes loads and loads and loads of videos, webinars, and all kinds of ways to feel good for yourself, and also to offer different opportunities for clients to feel better as well.
That looks like a wonderful resource. And thank you for pointing that out to everyone. Everyone's just maybe still practicing.
The Zen is in the air.
You're in the tender self-care mode.
That's it. Well, let me mention our upcoming Edu Talks, which will be April 5th. Carol McClellan will present an Edu Talk on craniosacral therapy for conscious conception, pregnancy, and birth.
Oh, sweet.
April 19th, Jody Scholes will present Emblex, Passing Strategies That Work. And on May 3rd, we have Diana Thompson presenting on electronic health records, your practice, time, and money saver. And May 17th, Janet Wolf Blevins will present an Edu Talk on introduction to acupressure. So we have a wonderful lineup coming through April and May and through the year. So please join us again. And Heath and Nicole have also presented an Edu Talk in January this year that on Thai table massage.
Yeah.
I didn't want to confuse it with the book title, Table Thai Yoga Massage. But your presentation is on biotone.com under the Edu Talk tab and can be rewatched. And if anyone does rewatch and want the handout, I'll be happy to email that to you if you just send me your email address after listening. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Donnell,
for including us.
And thanks everybody for being here. And thanks especially for your commitment to taking care of others. My wish, my prayer for you is that you share that same generous compassion with yourself.
Well, thank you so much. And lastly, any upcoming trade shows or events you'll be at?
Please check our website. We'll be teaching a yoga massage class this Thursday, which shows how do you move your client who is disrobed under a sheet? How do you move their foot up overhead while respecting modesty? So it's called stretching massage.
Fearless draping.
Yeah, so we show you all kinds of fantastic stretches, bringing 2D, we think of a lot of body work where you're just supine or prone as kind of two-dimensional, and we bring in that third dimension with range of motion, mobilization, stretching.
And I just thought we are preparing for a big Thai retreat. So if you're interested in traveling to Thailand this year, we'll be going there at in November, the first, I think 2 weeks in November or a week in November.
And you can learn Thai foot reflexology from the old medicine hospital where we first learned Thai massage a couple decades ago, as well as enjoy incredible body work every day. You get a different type of body work.
Ready to travel, ready to get out there.
Elephant Nature Park.
Yeah. All the waterfalls, all the food, all the beauty. We'd love to share that with you. It's one of our favorite places on the planet. And yeah, we'd love for you to join us if you're interested. Just checking out our website and you'll get all that information from Donnell after tonight.
Well, thank you so much once again. You've shared wonderful information through your Edu Talks, and we'd love to have you back again, maybe with Fearless Draping. And and thank you everyone for joining us tonight. Be safe, be well, and watch out for this new COVID variant.
Bye-bye.
Thank you all.
Bye.
Take care.